Just laughing at the camera angles. Alright, so here we go for the roll. I'm on the left, Alex is on the right.
Oh, gosh, the arm movement. Luke called evens and he won that roll.
Booyah. I spelt your name incorrectly, that's awesome.
Oh, wow, well done.
Alex
I'm Alex Keck. Sounds very German, which I do actually have in my ancestry, so I suppose I'll cope with it.
Yeah.
Some of you guys might not know how much work Luke puts into these videos, but he puts in an awful lot, and it's not an easy job.
Oh, it's not that much fuss. It's definitely worth it. I like it. What am I munching on, an apple or something?
Yeah, indeed. I've got a glass of water which I spill on the mat in a few seconds, I think.
I often get little water beads in my beard and stuff. It runs down when I'm not expecting it later on. It freaks me out. Speaking of water,
Alright, looks like we're starting off by the draw opening hands.
Sweet.
Let's see what the grips are. I can't actually remember at this point.
The grips, yeah, we'll find out. Hopefully my webcams are at a good angle. Okay, you've got a hallowed fountain, you've got Bant charm. Yeah, it's not a very good angle, is it? That's unfortunate. Oh, well.
No, we can't really see the hands too clearly.
Quite dark. I've got DT, Snow-Covered Mountain, Taiga. I'm kind of leaning forward and making...
you've definitely got the thing that makes the plant. What's the land that makes the plant?
County Garden.
County Garden, yes.
My little mascot card. Oh well. Good work, hand cams. Hopefully we change our angles. I've got a Badlands in there as well. So I'm staring at a lot of lands.
Prime time, I see, I think.
I have a green... I have a DT. So I don't have my acceleration until turn 3, because I'm going to DT for it. So I've got a slow hand.
I remember this hand. Okay, so I had Sol Ring, G-Day, Scavenging Ooze, and Yevmai Coast, a Tropical Island, and a Venser, I think.
Which is a ridiculous hand.
Yeah, it's quite a good hand. Yeah. It lacks late game power outside of the G-Day, which is not too great against your deck, but it's still an extremely fine hand, and it got off to quite the explosive start this game, if I remember correctly.
I think my hand was sketchy because it was so slow, but I figured I've got the County Garden to block early, and DT can go find Sakura Tribe which can block as well, and so, and hopefully buys me enough time to get to Scapeshift, but we'll find out.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
I think I've got the Scavenging Ooze and some lands, and the Venser is all I've got in hand, I believe, at the moment.
Yeah, that Venser's going to be very effective against me. Like, such a good tempo card.
Yes, incredibly good, especially when you have a turn 1 Sol Ring.
Yeah. So, what? This situation makes you like Sol Ring more than Time Walk, would you say?
It's situations like Sol Ring's obviously better when you have it in your opening hand.
Yeah.
And I say 90% of the time it's better when you have an opening hand. There's some hands you just can't take advantage of it. Yeah. But it's most of the time it's just better in your opening hand. Yeah. But Time Walk's better at every other point.
Yeah, because you are relatively colour intensive. All your spells.
Yeah, it's incredibly colour intensive, and I've made some colours to changes to the land base to make it more consistent because of that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, receive a call.
Yeah.
Pocket it. Yeah.
So at the moment I'm just trying to decide if I want to hold up the Venser or play the Scavenging Ooze. And the reason... the Venser obviously maintains better value into the late game, and I want to start applying early pressure. So I play the Scavenging Ooze and equip the Jide and pass the turn.
Yeah, I agree with that play.
The Venser... I've kind of didn't know what Luke was on wholly at this point. I'd played against Scapeshift a while in the past, and but it was a long while back, and I wasn't quite. It was only 1 or 2 games, so I wasn't quite sure what you were doing at this point.
Yeah.
So the Kyoto Builder are obviously very good against Uma's host Jide in a sense. You can block and sack and prevent the combat damage from being dealt.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen here.
Yeah. So I was still comfortable at this point. I've drawn an Into the North, another ramp spell. But it is turn 3 now, and I haven't got any board presence. But we'll see how we go. So in goes Scavenging Ooze, sack the Sakura Tribe before damage, obviously.
I was expecting this. I played my land pre-combat because I knew I was just going to cast Venser no matter what. The turn wasn't really going to lead to any excitement.
Yeah, so you've got a Strangleroot Geist, Bant charm.
Yep. And I elected not to play the Strangleroot Geist to keep out the Venser, which in hindsight I think might have actually been incorrect.
Okay. You passed the turn, so you
because
didn't...
Yeah, I should have played the Geist and attacked. I was still a bit afraid of what you were doing.
No, I think it's a good play.
I mean, the thing is, like, Ooze with Jide applies a lot of pressure, and I'm just concerned about maintaining this board state. So, Venser protects the board state pretty well, and I felt a reasonably strong enough board state that the Venser's going to do work. Venser, for any of you who don't know, it allows you to bounce a spell that's on the stack, so that's why Luke didn't get a beast or gain 5 life. It never actually resolved.
You've drawn a Flooded Strand, so you're tossing up between Bant, Charm, and Stringroot Geist.
No, I'm thinking definitely want a Horizon Canopy and dig for something that might give me a bit more information or be more relevant.
Some more interaction.
Figuring out where the graveyard's going to go.
Yeah. Have you drawn interaction or another land?
From memory, I didn't have any specific interaction, and at the moment I'm thinking about how annoying it is that Bant Charm doesn't counter sorceries, because I've figured out what you're on at this point, I'm trying to figure out the correct play. I think I decide to go for Stringroot Geist and get in there, which I think is correct, because Bant Charm, as aforementioned, doesn't interact well.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the best way to do it with Thragtusk at this point.
Yeah, I should mention that I reneged on my promise to play the same deck different deck each week.
You're a naughty boy, Luke.
Yeah, honestly, I tried so hard. I spent like a few good nights trying to refine my lists and get them good, but none of them came up to scratch.
Luke went very deep into the tank for this. He tried to play Tribal Goblins, Tribal Goblin combo with Kiki Jiki and Lightning, what's it called? Lightning Crafter and Goblin Recruiter, and the deck just plays so many cards that are just horrid by themselves and isn't fast enough to justify it.
Yeah. Alright, so back to the game. You've swung in for 6. I'm wondering whether to block with my plant. I don't block with the plant here. I figured that it could eat a Jide counter next turn, which is the same amount of damage that it's going to prevent by blocking this turn. And who knows, I might...
Maybe those Jide counters are relevant with the Scavenging Ooze for beating through Thragtusk, because we see in 2 turns' time in this game, actually, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if I make a play mistake and I perhaps eat the plant, then that Scavenging Ooze can't actually beat through Thragtusk with the number of counters that will be left on it. So that's a little thing that's going on.
Perhaps I should have blocked, considering that I could draw Pernicious Deed to wipe your board.
Pernicious Deed is very good against my deck. I think you only drew it in 1 of the 5 games.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
Yeah, avoid spoiling the future games.
I'll try, yeah.
Alright, so I'm deciding whether to play Quagnoth or Primeval Titan here. Primeval Titans I played in my last build. I didn't really draw it. It's not that effective here. It really doesn't bring me back in the board that much. That's why I'm playing in Colony Garden, so I can go find the plant.
Do you play for Suva in this deck? I don't.
Okay. That interaction doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can't go Valakut and Basuva.
Yeah, because if Basuva comes into play, it's choose, and by that point... Yeah, okay, yep, I understand.
Yeah.
Because they had to play at the same time.
Yeah, otherwise I'd definitely be playing it.
Yeah.
Alright,
so that's a pity, so you can't actually get double Scapeshift triggers in this deck.
No, but generally it's enough to get there. Alright, what have you drawn? You got very fast hands. Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, I think at this stage I just elect to Bant Charm the Primeval Titan and get in there.
Yeah, and that's plenty of value.
My hand's just lands and a Bant Charm, I believe, or the Elvish Mystic perhaps. I'm just considering the best way to tap my lands, I think, and whether I want to cast the Elvish Mystic in case I draw a Brainstorm or a Jace, which allows me to put away the dead card and get something more relevant.
Yeah.
I think I elected the 1 power is actually relevant enough. No, I decided to hold it in case of a sweeper, so that I can have somebody put the Jedi on, in case you're playing main deck sweepers.
Yeah, which I have Deed.
Okay. Which would kill the Jedi anyway, but I'm not aware of that at this point. I just want to have the Elvish Mystic as something that can be a threat if he wraths me or damnations me, and somehow deals with the Stringroot Geist as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just figuring out what land to get. If I want to get a black source in case I draw Lingering Souls, I just elect for the Tundra. I want a reliable blue source. I think that might actually be incorrect. I probably should have gotten Breeding Pool. I'm not... No, I guess it makes me draw Elspeth. No, I think I should definitely got Savannah there, and that was a bad fetch by me, because the Scavenging Ooze might have opportunities to eat multiple things in the future, and I might want more green mana than just 2.
Yeah.
It's pretty marginal. But, yeah, maybe the Tundra wasn't the quite right land to go for. Oh, I couldn't get Savannah because of Scalding Tarn. That makes a lot more sense. I don't think I did anything wrong if that's the case.
If you're wondering where Alex's deck is, it's underneath his hand cam.
Yeah,
You can see it in the hand cam.
The field of view of the camera is quite small, and I was feeling quite cramped when I tried to have the deck near me. It's
So the life loss from the Evermire Coast is negated by the life gain of the Scavenging Ooze. So you've swung in with the team, cleared the way with the Jide token, Jide counter. That's 7 damage. Ow. I'm down to 7. 2 more counters on Jide. So I want to rip the Scapeshift here. That's what I want.
Yeah, and since I can't interact with it, I was trying to put Luke on as fast of a clock as I possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. So wondering what to do if I can live this turn.
I think you can. Thragtusk is a...
Yeah, well, Thragtusk will put me to 12. And then I can block whichever dude you put it on. So I'm definitely living this turn. And I've got Treetop to block as well. So I just pass the turn and hope to rip Scapeshift next turn.
And you've got quite a few Scapeshifts you can rip at this point, right?
Yeah, I could draw Grim Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Clutch the Undercity, Dimir Houseguard.
You've already used Demonic Tutor, but yep.
Okay, yep.
Or Scapeshift itself, so 5.
Did I mention Besiege the Queen?
So Besiege the Queen, 6. So you've got 6 Scapeshifts. Luke's drawing live to 6 Scapeshifts. And I think you can cast both in the same turn, regardless of which tutor you draw. You have enough lands in play to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Do you have triple black? Yeah, you do. So, yeah. So, Luke's got quite a lot of live draws that win him the game on the spot if I don't kill him quite quickly.
Yeah. I've got a few other good draws, like Pernicious Steed or Maelstrom Wanderer. Would be quite strong. And you've drawn... What is it? Brainstorm? That's a good draw.
And I think I go into the tank because I draw some very interesting cards here.
You got Deathrite,
Resto and
Pod. That's a good Brainstorm.
So the Pod opens up a whole plethora of lines for me. So I've got quite a complicated thing going on here. I make a misplay here. I'll let you guys know in advance. I get a bit flustered because I realise I'm playing slow and I'm being unfair on Luke in about 30 seconds time because I have to realise how slow I'm taking.
You can see the distress in your face.
So I've got 2 Mana Dorks in hand, a Flooded Strand, a Resto and a Pod. And I'm considering a bunch of different lines like potting the Strangleroot Geist into a 3-drop like True Name Nemesis, which I just rejected because it doesn't actually do anything, and like what I'm worried about here is a sweeper. What I should do here is just put... I'm also thinking about keeping a Mana Dork in hand for the Pod, in case I want to pod into Stoneforge Mystic, or another 2-drop like Phantasmal Image to copy Venser and bounce something, or... I'm just considering all the different Pod lines at this point. What I should do is just hold the Resto up, so I can Resto targeting Venser and bounce any Scapeshifts. But I play too aggressively here, and the line I end up taking, which you should see me take in the near future...
I think it could be another 5 minutes.
Could be another 5 minutes, yeah. It's as I said, I got distracted with the Pod, and Brainstorm plus Pod open, and when you've got both in the same hand, and you're resolving a Brainstorm and trying to figure out what cards you want to put back on top, and next turn, and what Luke can do, there were a lot of possibilities that I was considering here.
Yeah, totally.
So... I'm just doing some math here about life loss and Scapeshift and how many lands Luke has in play, and whether I can avoid dying to Scapeshift if he does have it. And I think I determined that I can't if he has double, which I thought Vesuva worked. So I assumed it, because I'm used to playing against Scapeshift in Modern where they can get 2 Valakuts. So
9.
I'm figuring out if the Jide can gain me enough life that I'm not dead to Scapeshift. And I think it can here, but I don't realise that because I'm calculating about double.
Yeah.
So I'm deep in the tank. I think I decide to put the Deathrite Shaman back on top and keep the Flooded Strand, which I think I would prefer to have the Deathrite Shaman. And you can see me shaking my head there. Very annoyed with myself because I just as soon as I put the Deathrite Shaman back, I realised it was wrong, and I'd rather have the 2 life loss because it was going to be very relevant. Because I could fetch... You could draw that Flooded Strand next turn and then fetch for a black source. So here's what I do wrong. Oh, and the video pauses.
Even the stream got so annoyed at your
my horrendous misplays and it froze.
your long decision.
So we'll join you when we've reloaded the rebooted video file.
Yeah. The program crashed at this stage. Alright, so we're back. This is the next stream. So at this point, what happened was Keach played Restoration Angel,
targeting my Venser, and I bounced your treetop village. Yeah. Then I exiled your Security Builder with my Scavenging Ooze, and I attacked. Luke with...
what happened to my Primeval Titan?
Your Primeval Titan was Bant Charmed. You've got Thrag Tusk.
Yeah,
you blocked my Scavenging Ooze with your Thrag Tusk, and I pumped twice with the Jide to make it a 7/7, and killed the the Thrag Tusk, which died. You took 4 damage from the Venser and the Strangler Root Geist going to 8.
Yeah.
And I gained 2 more Jide counters.
Yeah. Damn counter spells.
Yeah, they were very relevant this match.
Yeah, raining on my party.
Yeah, but the entire time, all the games, I was very stressed about finding counter spells and having them because Scapeshift is just 4 mana you win the game against me.
Yeah, it's out of nowhere. Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot I can do about it other than having a counter spell because it's not really feasible for me to gain enough life to get out of range of it. So yeah, Luke's decided to gain 7 life, going up to 15.
7 life.
They're searching for a house card, and you're going to transmute that for Scapeshift, I believe.
Yep.
And pass the turn. So are there any other creatures you considered getting? Like, might stabilize you or whatever?
No.
No, just give me a house card.
Definitely a house card.
Yeah, putting me on the 1 turn for interaction seems.
Yeah, often I tend not to tutor until the turn I go off, due to like Thoughtseize and that kind of thing. Yeah. But your deck doesn't have that, so I'm happy to transmute now and play around Remand or Mana Leak. We're in my room currently. It's pretty cramped. I'm sitting on my amplifier. There's not much back support.
I should probably get you a chair. We should pause it after this game.
Whatever. I'll man up.
I'm happy to sit in the amplifier if you want to switch seats.
Yeah, we'll switch after this game.
All right. Okay. Luke's an injured man. He's twisted his ankle and can't walk. So
I'm crippled right now.
Yeah.
So you fetch into my turn?
Yeah, I decided that considering the Deathrite Chamber is no longer going to provide me with 2 life, I'd rather draw something that might be more relevant because it doesn't actually do anything. Because with the pod, I've decided I want to sacrifice the Strangler Geist and get Witness and get the Bant Charm to bounce your beast and try and... I think it's just guaranteed lethal. I might not have just done the full math yet, but I did figure out the Deathrite Chamber didn't matter at this point, and I'm just figuring out if the line works now and doing the math.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to figure out if I'm just exiling cards with Scavenging Ooze. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I've decided to exile cards with Scavenging Ooze, and that's why I fetched, not because of the Deathrite Chamber actually. Yeah.
It's interesting the dynamics of the league because we're in my lounge room and it's all cruisy. It's okay to take your time and think and stuff, but it's easy to forget that people are going to watch this and they'll get impatient with the slow play.
Yeah, the slow play. And that was something I was very conscious of.
And there's no judges around saying hurry up.
Well, but the thing is, you still have to follow, this is still, in essence, we've got there's large prizes on the line and etc. for the top 8, so you still got to play at an orderly pace.
Yeah, and, but we did not do that.
We didn't. No. We took our time, but we could have been even slower still if we didn't have the whip of the viewers over our backs.
Yeah. Well, my last round I was pretty slow with Eunice as well, but he was playing a slow deck.
All right, so I'm just birthing pod and I'm paying 2 life and paying 2 life again to pod the Stringer guys to get Eternal Witness.
Can I get a witness?
And the Witness will Bant Charm the beast away, which should just provide lethal. Unless Luke has some unheard of card that I'm not ready for.
No, you Slaughter Pact.
Slaughter Pact, yeah. Slaughter Pact would do it.
You've forgotten how to breathe or something?
Yeah, I'm just recovering from a cold, actually.
Okay.
Got a bit of a frog in the throat.
Yeah.
I have some water. Can
I get a witness? Where is it? You gotta have a whiteboarded witness so you can find it easily.
I'm just telling Luke what's happening, and he's packing up his cards after I explain it.
Yeah. Normally I don't scoop, but I was tapped out, so there's no...
There's no reason.
Yeah. Okay, that's the end of game 1. Let's go on to game 2.